Okay, light 'em if you got 'em. Jonathan Fibonojji revisits. Check this out. Remember this? You're like, what? If you remember, this is where, when I first moved to Durango, this is where I lived. It kind of is the main road. You can see the highway. This is where Fibonojji really began. Colorado, 2015, baby. There you go. Kind of a newbie YouTuber. I think I'm like at year, what, 2.5, 3. Fibonojji. Durango, Sausalito, San Francisco. This is where I first moved. Really, you know, I didn't use the word grief and mourning, but this is really where I would walk in the mornings. And then it was the winter of 2015, and it was one of those gorgeous, gorgeous, like honeymoon-like, holy shit, Durango, purgatory. Learned to ski at 40, Fibonojji, new beginnings. And this is where I would walk, get high as fuck and cry and talk to Jesus and think about day trading, not always in that order. It's where really, you know, as cliche as it is, I mean, there's just some places like, you know, the wilderness and the hills. And what makes Durango so amazing is it's a city, a little village in the middle of the San Juans, and it's gorgeous. You know, it's kind of really where, you know, if you love to be outdoors, it's really that place. You know, like Oklahoma City, that's where I grew up. I mean, we didn't have mountains. We didn't even have a professional basketball team back then. The state I grew up in, Oklahoma, which is one of the best states in the world, you know, our motto was, here you go, Jonathan Fibonojji. Our motto was, Oklahoma's okay. You know, Oklahoma looks a lot like this. It just, that's Oklahoma. So I can hold my camera. And then we didn't have this. Learned to ski, cried me a river, hashtag 2503, Texas 2503. You know the drill. Sometimes these videos get so repetitive. Moving on. Well, here you go. You know, I've been thinking a lot about this channel. I mean, it's grown. You know, we're in, you know, I'm in all kinds of states. You know, California, Texas. I got 229 holy shit followers. You're like, holy shit, Jonathan Fibonojji, GoFundMe. I know what you're thinking. You're like, how in the fuck can we give Jonathan Fibonojji $85? I don't know. Just go to PayPal. You know the drill. I'm trying to hold my camera straight, talk about things that are important to me. Homelessness and 323 days of homelessness and the things I've learned on that path, and how can my journey make your journey better? You know, day 320. I think this is really like the third year, because, you know, I truck camped in Malibu, Sausalito. This has been a journey, kind of a hero's journey, if you will. You know, you face all kinds of demons, you know, and then started getting arrested out here in Durango, because when you're homeless, of course, to me, I just love nature, and I don't want to spend $1,500 just to have a house that I never see because I need to go make a living in a town that pays $10 an hour. And Durango's a beautiful place, but really it's land of the $10 an hour job. And more than once I've heard people say, hey Fibonojji, hey Jonathan, let me talk to my Fort Lewis students and then I'll get back with you. I mean, it's hard to be a 42-year-old man and then competing against, you know, college students. And that's why we have homelessness. Cause effect, baby. You're like, Jonathan Fibonojji, are you always going to be talking about Ravenship? Well, today I want to talk about, well, you. I want to talk about how this channel can bring you light and love. You know, I've been promising you that. And, you know, you've been part of this journey. You've kind of seen my foibles, my bad editing, my Sausalito, San Francisco journeys, Kellogg's Beach. You've been a part of it the whole time. And I've learned about this country in a way that, you know, Jesus Christ, the King, said it to, I think, a guy in like Luke 18 or Luke 8. I believe it's Luke 18. He says to the rich young ruler, he says, basically, go sell everything and give it to the poor. And what he was saying, in effect, was go homeless. Go be like those transients that Paul talks about. And then Jesus says to the rich young ruler, essentially, go homeless. And he says, and then Jesus says, that one thing you lacked, the homelessness, the aspect of really starting from ground zero with no friends, no family, no resume, nothing. Start at ground zero and rebuild. And Jesus the Christ said, and then you'll go to heaven. And that's one of the most hotly contested, debated parts of the Bible, because some people want to talk about why mammon or the love of mammon's good. You know, sometimes our pastors are just as in love with mammon as mammon. And so it's hard to really find, what do you want to call it, balance, teaching. How do we talk about money and how going homeless, I've seen this country in such a unique way. You know, I saw in Malibu where, women would cross out men's bathrooms and say women's only. It's a woman's only world. I took a picture of it because I'm like, I don't think people would realize that women are kicking men out of public spaces, one room at a time. And then here in Durango, seemingly a completely different world, here in Durango, public spaces and throwing homeless people in jail. And that's a really big deal, public spaces. And when public spaces like libraries and Starbucks, or even soup kitchens, do you know that you could be thrown out of a soup kitchen? Well, what happens to people in the dead of winter who are kicked out of soup kitchens? What happens to them? And can cities be held liable? And do homeless people even have rights? That's the question I've been asking. And for 8 months, I've been waiting for my jury trial, because I saw it here in Durango. The ACLU came down on Durango and says, hey, Durango, you're a beautiful place, but you can't deny people jury trials. That's a really big deal. I mean, what's bigger legally of corruption than when courts deny jury trials? I mean, isn't that in the 6th Amendment and the 14th Amendment, and homelessness, and a Fibonojji with an iPhone, doing journalism that maybe today is perhaps sophomoric or perhaps laughable. Here's this Fibonojji taking on a city, going to sue the fuck out of them for false arrest and things like that, and kicking them out of public spaces and men's rights and federally protected statuses, and how these are very relevant discussions. And in America, there are a few discussions we need to have, like Bitcoin currencies, the dollar's demise, and then homelessness and public spaces. And then even on a larger level, the Bureau of Land Management really seizing public spaces. And who's really having that discussion? Jonathan Fibonojji is. So go fund me, baby. Talking about Jesus, make you laugh. I've even done a few spots at the El Rancho Thursday, 8 o'clock. We have a burgeoning comedy scene. Here I am trying to do all the stuff, and holy shit. I'll look at these videos in 10 years. I'm like, man, I needed an editor. But I'm doing this from homelessness and using a technology of, hey, let me tell this story. Let me tell the Jonathan story. Let me talk about men's rights in West Texas and public spaces, and how, if there's anything that I want this channel to be, is I want it to bring light and love. And whether that's an intelligent thought or a joke, whether it's maybe a song or something, maybe I'm profiling an independent band or a musician. As always, thank you for taking this journey with me. Go fund me, americano417@gmail.com. That's my email. americano417@gmail.com. J-Bug, K-Bug, I love you. Durango, maybe Sausalito nigga, is out. Thank you for taking this journey.